Welcome to the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. This podcast is an extension of Never Alone Christian Center and has been specifically designed to make faith transparent and relevant to everyday life. What up? What up? Happy Friday. I'm Pastor K. Welcome to the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. I don't know about you, but I'm so glad to see the weekend. I'm ready to enjoy this weekend. I'm ready to enjoy this Friday, and there's no better place than to start with talking to you guys and hanging out with you guys and rapping about things that affect us. And it's an opportunity to take a load off throughout the course of the week. And I'm thankful for all the listeners and the supporters. I know you're probably saying, where's Miss Wiley? Where's the wife at? Don't worry. I'm going to bring her back. She's going to come back on probably in the next couple of episodes. But tonight, yours truly, thank you for hanging with me. All right. Once again, this is the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. We are an extension of Never Alone Christian Center, a new ministry my wife and I are launching this summer. We're actually less than 25 days away. And I don't know about you, but I am so excited. So if you haven't connected with us on our website at neveralonecc.org, please go over there. Check us out. Hit us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And yes, right, I am now on Clubhouse. And I'm excited to be there. I hope you guys come check me out over there. Same handle at nacc Media. Also, keep in mind, if you want to support the ministry, support the vision, visit the website, click on Give, and there you can give through CashApp at nacc Media, PayPal at nacc Media, through the Tively app. Just simply search Never Alone Christian Center, and there you can give and support the vision, support the mission, not only this podcast, but of the ministry and the Christian Center. And we are thankful for all those that have given, those that will give, and we honor you. But nothing is better than financial giving is great, but we also enjoy the likes, the subscribes, the reposts. Those are the things that draw the attention to this Christian Center and to the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we thank you for that. So without further ado, before I get too deep tonight, I want to officially give my son, Kenton II, a shout out. Today is his birthday, and he is celebrating, and we are excited, and we have many things planned for him this weekend. He is 10 years old, and we are so proud of who he is and what he is becoming. And I'm honored to have a son and a daughter that both love God and they have a desire to do his will. And they're so excited about NACC and the NACC experience. So tonight, since we're talking about children, now I've entitled this particular podcast series, this is episode number 6. Okay, you can stream it on the website, the Anchor app, Spotify, and any place you decide to stream your podcast. So the last several podcasts we've been teaching on, or talking about rather, the subject matter of being lazy. Okay, and we started with, as you will find, that I always start with the men, because I feel like the men are supposed to be the example. The men are supposed to be the first one to get it right. So we started with the men, and we were talking about, I love him, but he's lazy. So we're talking about the husbands, the boyfriends, or whatever situation you're in, and how to get that situation together. And then we transitioned in episode, I think 3 or 4, brought my wife on, and we started talking about the women. We started talking about lazy wives in the home and girlfriends or whatnot. And that's right, they too have their times of being lazy. And we found that out. The feedback was tremendous from that particular episode. And I'm glad that we are helping you guys, because I love to help families. I love to help couples and married couples and those that desire to be married and head in that direction. I love to help you guys get where it is comfortable for your relationship and you can do what it is that makes you all happy. So tonight, quite naturally, if we're dealing with the family, there's nobody left but the children. Okay, so tonight's topic is I love them, but my kids are lazy. Okay, I love them. We love children, listen, I love my children, okay? But my kids are lazy. Now, to give you a little backdrop, now you all know our family structures. My wife and I, we've been married 14 years. We have 2 children, a boy and a girl. Kalia and Kenton is second. Kalia is 12. Kenton is now 10. Now, our children, they have their moments of being lazy. But as we get into what we're talking about tonight, I'm going to explain to you how we try our best to make sure they don't stay lazy and that they stay active. Okay, so with this particular conversation tonight, and I want you guys to continue to engage, continue to drop comments as this is streaming, or if you want to drop something later on our IG in our DMs, or drop a message, please hit us up if you have questions, concerns, comments. Drop them in there. Everything is anonymous. My wife and I, we review them and we plug them into the particular situation. Or if it's something personal, then we reach out to you personally, and my wife and I, we have a conversation with you to see if we can help you where you're at in your particular matter. So I love them, but my kids are lazy. So tonight I want to look at 4 critical areas. Now, we're probably not going to cover them all. This might take 2 podcasts because I want to make sure that we get the information. 4 critical areas on how to help us with our children if they're lazy. Now, first, let me say this. I salute all you single parents doing your thing. I salute you. Boop, boom. I salute you. I was fortunate enough to have both parents active in my life, and I couldn't imagine not having both of them there. Now, my father passed when I was in grad school. I think I was 21, so it's been several years since he's passed, but they were there throughout my life until I became an adult, myself and my 2 brothers. So I salute you, single parents, because I know it is difficult to do the task that you're tasked with for whatever situation or for whatever circumstances that brought you to that particular state. I am never harsh or come down on single mothers or single fathers because I understand you all are tasked with a very challenging situation, but you are able, and I've seen the fruit of many, many wonderful men and women and children who've come from single households. So don't look at that as a crutch or look at that as a disadvantage. Look at it as an opportunity to prove God great. Secondly, do not feel bad if your child or your children are lazy or showing signs of becoming lazy. Don't feel bad, okay? Don't feel bad. You have not failed as a parent, grandparent, whomever you may be raising. You have not failed. Okay? We just need to do better. We need to do better. All right? I don't have to give you the statistics on the obesity rate in our country. It's unnecessary. We know that it's high amongst children. Okay? So we understand that health is a factor. We understand that COVID-19 has become a major factor, and it has certainly added to the circumstances that surround our children. But I'm not trying to give you excuses, because we're looking for opportunities to get away from having our children be lazy. So we have to become creative. We have to get engaged, and we have to become involved, and we have to, at the end of the day, sacrifice. We have to learn to make sacrifices, okay? I don't want to get ahead of myself. So 4 things I want to talk about tonight, but I want to take my time on each and every one of them, okay? But I'm going to give you the 4 things because I want you to write the 4 things down so that you have them or put them in your heart. But then we're going to break them down. Okay, now this is a podcast. I am striving not to make this preaching or not to make this teaching, because that's why we have BTS, which is behind the scriptures, which is our version of Bible study, and that's why we have Sunday service. The podcast is designed for you to engage with me and my wife and those who are listening, and to gather the information to make it applicable to your life. That's the purpose of the podcast, is to be engaging with you all. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is, we said we love our children. We love our children, however you may have. The first thing we want to talk about, but they're lazy, is we want to look at attitude. Attitude. You know, I deal with a lot of children, because if you don't know, my background is in law enforcement, so I deal with a lot of children. And I've been in ministry as long as I can remember. And attitude is pivotal. I have coached men, young boys and women, young girls. And attitude is the difference in everything. Not even focusing on the winning or losing, because there are many winners who have horrible attitudes, terrible character, but they still win. They're winners in life. And you say, well, how is that possible? Because they apply principles, or they have raw talent, or they've been given opportunities, regardless of their attitude, or advantages, regardless of their attitude. So attitude has so much to do with determining whether or not our children are lazy or not. So let's look at attitudes. Attitudes, I look at attitudes as coming in three shapes of form, okay? You have the negative attitude. Mom, Dad, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to cut the grass. I don't want to do the dishes. I don't want to do that. Now, some parents may say, well, my child ain't talking to me like that. Well, let's take it out of context, okay? Let's not look at the negative side, how they talking. Let's look at the attitude behind it. They don't want to do the task. They don't want to go outside and ride a bike. They don't want to go play basketball. They don't want to get involved in sports. They don't want to do dance. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They just want to sit around and do nothing. So this comes down to an attitude. And an attitude has been described as someone's feelings or their emotions or their posture toward activity, their posture toward getting involved and being active. So what has created this posture in our children that they have an attitude when it comes to activity? Okay, you either have a negative attitude or you have a positive attitude. I'm excited to do this. I'm ready to do that. Can I sign up for this? Mom, Dad, I want to do that. Yes, I'll help you do this. I want to go here. I want to get positive attitude. They don't have a desire to lay around and do nothing. They don't have a desire to be stuck in the house. That's not their desire. They want to engage. Now, where did that attitude come from? And the third attitude, I call this the, if you're listening to this on audio, you can't see me shrugging my shoulders. This is the shrug shoulders attitude. What's this attitude? This attitude is, I don't know how I feel. I ask my son, he comes home, how'd the math test go today? I say, did you take it? Did you know any answers? See, that's the shrug shoulder attitude. Now, he's 10, Kalia's 12. Kalia, how did the test go? Man, not a lot of difference. Or she might at least say, yeah, I think I did okay. Do you remember any of the answers? The shrug shoulder attitude, okay? So these are the levels of attitudes we're looking at. So think about your children. When it comes to them being lazy or not engaged or not active, what attitude bracket do they fall in? Are they falling in a negative bracket, a positive bracket, or are they doing the shrug shoulder bracket? Okay, because you have to know your child, and every child is different. Kalia and Kenton, they in some way they're very similar. It's only a 2-year gap. Some way they're very similar, but in other ways they're vastly different. They're vastly different. Kalia would be on the deck doing her little TikToks and dancing or whatever. Kenton might go out play basketball, but Kenton likes to play his games too. So they're very vastly different sometimes when it comes to their attitude or their approach to being lazy. Now, this is the part that's tough. In my experience, children take on the attitude of those who have the greatest influence in their life. See, this is the part that's tough for parents. It's hard to accept if your child is taking on a lazy attitude if you are the primary influence. Now, in a perfect scenario, the parent or parents would be the influence to develop the attitude of the child. Okay? Now once your child is 16, 17, getting grown, and now you're trying to correct the attitude. I'm not saying it can't be done with prayer, with the power of the Lord, and some discipline, some methods to help. Yes, it can be done. But primarily, I'm talking about children who we are raising. They're in the stages of developing their attitude, developing their thinking pattern, developing their mindset. Okay, that's who I'm addressing now, because I understand it is a challenge once your child is 15, 16, 17 to start tweaking an attitude that may have needed to be tweaked at 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now, that's not a lost cause. It's just going to require more work. Okay. So in my experience, an attitude is developed by the greatest influence. So moms, dads, grandmoms, whoever has the influence, what kind of attitude are we giving them? What attitude as parents do we have toward activity? Are we on the couch? Are we laying around doing nothing? Are we allowing the sink to be piled up with dishes? Are we allowing the floor not to be vacuumed? Are we allowing the grass to get high? Are we allowing the car to be filthy? Are we allowing the laundry to pile up? Are we showing them a negative attitude towards not being lazy? Listen carefully. Listen. I'm a dad. Okay? I work 40 hours a week. My commute to work is an hour 15 one way on a good day. Okay, so I get it. I am invested between work and transportation back and forth to work by my choice. I've chosen to live in a county, in the Maryland County, and I work in the nation's capital. Okay, so on a given day, 12 to 13 hours of my day, 5 days a week are invested in providing food for my family. Okay, my wife the same way. She puts in her time in a job, sometimes more than 40 hours, and then she teaches dance. Okay, so then I might have coaching, I might have this, I'm a ministry. Okay, so tired is not, it is an excuse, but it's not a way of out. Because we're tired, we can't just buy our children phones and iPads and Nintendo Switches and PlayStations and Xboxes and say, go into your room, finish your homework. I need to have my nightcap and chill. No, we have to develop a positive attitude in them towards activity, toward not just laying around. What does that mean? Our influence in their lives at a young age, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 14, 15 or whatnot, changes their behavior toward whether or not they're going to be lazy or not. Moms, dad, are we lazy? Be straight with yourself. Are we lazy? If we're lazy, how can we get mad and throw the shoe at the children when they're lazy? How can we get mad at them when we have done nothing to show them a positive attitude towards not being lazy? We have no grounds to stand on. Okay? So that's addressing the parents. We have to give them an attitude. We have to give them the attitude we want them to have towards not being lazy. Okay? Moms, dads, we have to give it to them. If we don't give them the attitude, they're not going to receive it, or they're not going to have it. So we can't get mad at them. Okay? If we don't read books or read ebooks, how are we going to get mad if they don't read? They do what they see. Okay? Now, when it comes to the children, how do you address children? Say, well, I'm not lazy. So Pastor K, I'm dad, I'm mom, I'm not lazy. I do my thing, and but they still just lazy, lay around. Now, this is when you have to step into the mom and dad, and you have to nudge them in love and engage them. I pick the kids up from school. We get home. What do? We play a game of basketball, 1 or 2 games of basketball, depending on the weather. Clay, if she's not at school, at cheer or dance or theater or whatever, because you know what? We make sure they stay active. So they're going to be active. This is not negotiation. Okay, you are going to be involved in something. You're going to be in a math club. You're going to be in a history club, theater, drama. Pick what you want to do. If you can find a Fortnite club, find it. I hope they're outside jogging before they play, because that's going to be a part of the cycle. You're going to be involved in something. Why? Because mom and dad are involved in stuff. You're going to be active. You're going to engage with other children. You're going to engage. You're going to learn how to deal with bullies. You're going to learn how to deal with drama with girls. You're going to learn how to deal with drama with boys. You're going to learn how to do it. We're going to make sure that you have an opportunity to have exposure with other children. Why? Because we want to make sure you have a positive attitude toward activity. So mom, dads, if you're not lazy, you have to engage your children. Expose them to activities. Take them places. I know you want to chill. I know you want to hang out, but it's like my mom always has told me, that when you make the decision to have children, your time is now their time. When I look at my leave at work, my leave belongs to them. Okay? And my wife and I, we take our vacation, but my time belongs to them. If that's not your attitude towards your children, that your time belongs to them and their development, then in my opinion, we can't get mad when they're lazy. Okay? Address them. So let me say this. How do we shift the attitude in the home? How do we shift the attitude of the home? Well, the first thing is you have to acknowledge. Acknowledgement is where we as Christians and non-believers, but I'm talking to Christians most of the time, but for those who are doing their thing, baby Jesus is not their Lord, we still can rap because I'm cool with that. That's your decision. My job is to live an example, hoping that you ask me, well, who is it that you serve? Acknowledgement. Acknowledge that there is an issue with the attitude in the home with either the parents or with the children. Let's just be honest. What do I always say? My goal is to make faith transparent and relevant to everyday life. That all starts with being honest. I'm going to keep it real with you. Okay? If you don't acknowledge that you lazy, mom, dad, then how you going to brag on the kids? You can't. Okay? Well, you can, but you don't have a leg to stand on. You have no foundation to stand on. Because children are very intelligent. Just like we were very intelligent. They see through the fluff. You know? Yeah, you can beat them into submission. I don't condone child abuse, for the record. But you can beat them into submission. Then you grow up and they put you in a home, sell your house and your cars, take all your jewelry, but you're mad. Okay? Acknowledgement is our first step to changing the attitude in the home. Sit down with your spouse and say, okay, listen, hon. That's what I call my wife, and we call each other, hon. The kids is super lazy around here. I'm sick and tired of picking these clothes up. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing that. So how can we change the attitude? The first thing we usually do, let me get them phones. Let me get them phones, baby. Let me get them phones, okay? Phones ain't working. Let me get that Switch controller. Let me get that Xbox controller. What's next? Oh, shut that TikTok account down. Let's do it. What's next? You know, usually things shape up really fast after that because you have to target things that children love. Oh, you can't go outside. That ain't no problem. They don't care. Target things that they love the most. Okay? The second thing is, think before we speak. In order to change an attitude in the home, think before we speak. Okay? Now my wife and I, we don't do the yelling thing. Okay? And we might get at those kids every once in a while, but the fussing, the yelling, arguing, that's not our thing. That's not what molds us and moves us and makes and shakes stuff around the Wiley household. Now you do your thing. I don't recommend it. That's my opinion. But we don't do the yelling thing. Okay? We say it very calmly. We get a little closer, say it a little more calmly, and then we take action. But we think before we speak. Before I go fussing at the children about something they didn't do, I have to ask myself the question. My wife have to ask herself the question, why aren't they doing it? What attitude have we given them to make them think it's okay to leave their clothes on the floor? What attitude are we giving them to make them think that it's okay to leave their dishes on the table? What attitude are we giving them to make them think it's okay to wear the same shirt to school 5 days in a row and not change their undergarments? And you say, well, that's nasty. I see it all the time. Kids have the same underwear, same shirt, same clothes. They have it all the time. Like, why don't you put on something fresh today? I don't know. I just grabbed this, whatever. What attitude have we given them to make them think that it's okay? Okay? Acknowledgement, think before we speak. Third thing, Present instruction in love, not anger or displeasure. Come on, parents, talk to me. Come on in here. Bring it in. Bring it in. Where's my heart emoji? Boop, boop. Let's hit the heart emoji. Come on, parents. Bring it in. Listen, I love you, parents. And like we said, we love our kids, our children. We love them. But they're lazy. And if you don't acknowledge that they're lazy, they're not going to change. They're not going to change. But when we're trying to get them to the next level, we have to present instruction, direction in love, in anger. You may say, well, shoot, my parents didn't give me no love. They said, if them dishes not done, that grass not cut, that floor not clean, not swept, that bathroom not done before I get home, it's going to be me and you. It's going down. Now, if you were raised like that and it worked for you, then fine, okay? You know, that's a method, you know, but I'm not a fan of threatening the children. That's not my thing. That's not the way I have chosen to do it, that we have chosen to do it by threatening the children. Okay? That's not a method. So we present instruction in love and not anger and displeasure. In other words, when we say, Kenton or Kalia, get your clothes off the floor and put them in your basket. We don't do it in anger. I'm sick of you doing this. You always do this. Yada 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 yada. Because if you saying this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a week, and I tell my son, get your stuff off the floor. Now we're at the point where, and he's just a boy. He shoot his laundry basket is a basketball goal. So he shoots his clothes and he misses. My wife say, you missed. You throw up a brick. Get your rebound and put the joint in the thing. I just showed my age. I said put the joint in there. Yeah, I'm sorry. Put it in the basket. Okay? But now to the point now, I walk in the room. I said, I'm gonna walk out. You know what to do. I come back, joint spotless. Said it again. Joint. Room spotless. You know why? Because we've given him an attitude that this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So now he understands. They hear the feet coming up the steps. They shuffling. They plugging phones up, getting ready for bed. They getting ready doing whatever. Kenton's getting do-rag on. Kalia be like, Dad's coming. They get under the blanket and try like this. I'm like, little y'all ain't sleep. Stop tripping. Give instructions in anger or in love, not in anger or displeasure. Okay? All right. My time went kind of quick, but it's cool. My final thought tonight. I love them, but they're lazy. I love my children, but they're lazy. Final thought. My final thought has been the same throughout this lazy podcast series, if you will. If you continue to allow it to happen, it will not change. It's just that simple. If we continue to allow laziness to happen, an attitude of negativity and not positive, or the shrug shoulder attitude, it won't change. Don't forget, join me every Friday, 7 p.m. for the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. Stream it on the website. You can catch the replay on IGTV, as well as the Anchor app, Anchor.fm, Spotify, or wherever you choose to stream the podcast. Listen, I love you guys. My wife and I are so encouraged by you guys' support. Continue to keep up with us. Check us out. Repost us. All that good jazz. Have a good weekend. I'm going to check in with you guys tomorrow. I'm trying to drop on live for a little bit. Say what's up. Maybe do a Q&A. But until then, I love you. Thank you for enjoying the nacc experience. Talk to you soon.